just 4 Xenagos, 4 Nissa, nothing else.
Yeah, and he has Pelucranos. So
Right.
like I said, it is very much a monsters and planeswalkers hybrid.
Yeah, both players on 6 here for game 2. Craig Johnson is playing Naya Hexproof. This is one of those decks that has kind of always been on the fringes of Standard. We see a lot of like these lower end Naya decks, whether they're, you know, just like the Naya double strike like the combo-ish double strike kind of deck, or whether it's not Naya Hexproof.
Yeah, I mean, there's like Brave Naya, right? There's this Naya Hexproof deck. There's even like some Domri Naya decks, which have been popping up. Trevor Charles Humphreys went kind of deep in the Invitational, the last Invitational playing that deck. That deck looked pretty good. So, like, Naya is there. The card quality is there. It's just, like, these decks very much have to be tuned to fight the metagame. And something like Hexproof is good. It is just generally good against a lot of decks. But it's also kind of inconsistent. I think that's where the downfall is for that archetype.
Yeah, the deck plays what? It has 16 creatures. He actually managed to play a full 12. This is more Hexproofers than I normally see. So it's 12. He has the full set of Gladecover Scout, Basara, Tower Archer, and Witch Stalker. So really, like, all the viable Hexproof cards.
Yeah, he's going all out. And I mean, that's all you need, right? Is just one Hexproof guy and then a bunch of enchantments.
All right, game 2 underway. Remember, both players on 6 here. Steven Mann's going to start with a Scryland. So I guess then the question is, what kind of interaction does Steven actually have to a Boggle loaded up with a lot of auras?
Yeah, I mean, he's not playing any Anger of the Gods, any even Golgari Charms, Abrupt Decays. He has none of that stuff. No Devour Flesh. All of his, like, his best bet is probably just overload Mizzium Mortars and try and get to that point.
Yeah, and I think one of the dangers of this matchup is Craig's playing 4 Unflinching Courage, 3 Gift of the Orzhova in the main. And once he gets one of these Boggles loaded up with Lifelink, I don't see a great way that Mann can interact anymore.
No, I mean, like, racing is certainly an option for Steven, but I think for the most part, he is trying to just overload a Mortars, hope that the creature is not big enough and will actually die to it, which is, you know, kind of a concern, actually, when you start taking into account things like Ethereal Armor, and then just, like, try and maybe deal with his follow-up threats. But racing seems very tough against a deck with 7 life gain enchantments, for sure.
Yeah, well, we do have a Boggle on the field. It's Gladecover Scout, and it has Madcap skills on it. Mann is going to try to life gain and maybe block through it for a little bit. He's going to need to have the creature to block, but he plays Courser of Crewfix. Now the question is, what kind of aura does Craig have next? Looks like it's going to be Unflinching Courage. So now it is a 6-power Boggle with lifelink.
And it's not looking good for Steven here. I mean, like, if he had another creature, certainly he could double block, but that just walks into any number of things that Craig could have between, like, Gorkland Rampager, Boros Charm Indestructible, basically anything.
Yeah, well, it seems, you know, the goal of the Naya Hexproof deck is to just assemble a creature that the other deck can't deal with at all. And it kind of feels that, like, we've reached that point here, right? I don't even know if Steven has a card in his deck that can reasonably deal with a 6/3 lifelink. Like, as long as Craig has another trick for it, right?
Yeah.
Like, his way of answering it is blocking.
Right, and if you double block and Craig has a trick, you're almost certainly taking some trample damage. Craig's going to gain a bunch of that life back and everything. And then at that point, you basically have no real follow-up, right?
Yeah, I wouldn't think so, because you have to commit your whole board to blocking it.
Yeah, and then next turn also produce, like, 2 more things that can block it. Hope he doesn't have another trick.
Yeah, Xenagos was his play. It makes a 2/2 Satyr. So Mann right now does have enough blocks for the creature. But looks like Craig has a Johnny Caller of the Pride. He's going to play that flying double strike, and that should be it. Craig Johnson 2-0 defeats Steven Mann.
These have been some fast matches.
I was going to say, we've gotten through 3 matches in 25 minutes. That is